All right, hello. Today I'm here with Peter Black, or Blackie as he's better known, from the good old Aussie band, the Hard-Ons. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Yeah, no, anytime. Can you believe that you're about to embark on a 40-year anniversary tour?
I'm I'm that old. Excellent. I no, I can't believe it. When I actually stop to think about it, which I never do, I never stop and I
Yeah,
never think. Those two things, what are they? But yeah, when I do stop to think about it, it's kind of like, far out, that's a long bloody time.
yeah, it's crazy. And can you tell us a bit about the Doco, the most Australian band ever?
I can't. I don't know anything about it.
Oh,
We're not making it.
okay.
Jonathan, I call him Jono. Jonathan Sequeira is making it,
Yeah,
and he made the phenomenal doco on Radio Birdman,
yeah,
which I loved and seen 4 times. So when he approached us and said, "I'd like to make a doco," um, yeah, we all said, "Shit, yeah, the dude that made the Birdman doco, yeah, for sure."
oh yeah, of
So I'll see it when you see it, if you want to go see it,
course.
and I'm sure in his hands it's going to be quite fun.
Yeah, is it all like older footage, or is there any new footage, or do you not?
I think, look, I have a feeling he wants to do it as a two-parter,
Okay.
our first 10 years or so, and then the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Wow.
the so-called golden age and then the boring bits.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. Although whenever people say to me, "Why don't you write a book? Why don't you do a doco? Why don't you do this?" And I'm like, I don't know what to say, man. I'm one of the most boringest dudes I know. So
No, not true.
let's see how he makes it. I'm sure he's gonna make
Yeah,
us look good.
yeah, for sure. Now, where did the name for the new album come from?
It's the name of two songs. The first songs on side one and two joined together.
Oh,
There's
there
a
you
song
go.
called I Like You a Lot, and there's a song called Getting Older. And that was Ray's idea, and we just spliced them together.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's pretty awesome. And sonically, how did you guys decide on the direction of this album?
It, there's never really a decision. It's just really, for me, it's what I'm feeling at the moment, and which ideas I'm working on, which ones give me the most energy, tickle my fancy the most, and which, when I look at them together, like we obviously, we demo up to 20 to 30 tracks and then whittle them down to make a really strong record, because you want, as I said before, we're at the age where we still love albums as albums. Like I remember getting a record. You play it start to finish, and you're on a little mini journey, and they're just songs that we thought would make a good record.
Yeah.
And one of the other things, I can't really talk about it much at the moment because I hate talking about shit until it happens. But we have tracked another record which isn't ready yet, which is quite heavy,
Awesome.
quite not much melodicness to it. So just you always do yin and yang. You go heavy for a while, then you get bored, then you go melodic for a while, you get bored, then you keep swapping around, and
Yeah,
to keep things fresh.
yeah. I heard somewhere that this album is more pop. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So,
very pop.
that's crazy. Well, see, I think pop to you guys and pop to me might be something very different, because I gave Buzz 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 a listen and I was pleasantly surprised by the heaviness like that we all know and love from you guys. It was still there. Is everything on I Like You a Lot getting older, is everything going to be more pop, or are you going to hark back to your heavier sound?
No, look, it's still like with us, it's still basically a mixture, but
Yeah,
there are some very, very, very melodic moments, like almost twee. And yeah, I know, I guess the word pop, like punk, or metal or anything, it goes through so many changes. Like when people say pop, it's
yeah,
like I don't get it. It's like, to me, the Kinks were pop, Buzzcocks were pop, the Ramones were really melodic and pop. They wrote some of the most beautiful pop songs ever.
yeah,
Uh, as well as 60s stuff like Motown and things like that. So I don't really, and we're all massive power pop fans too. I don't see, people say pop and it's like, oh, you mean like Taylor Swift? It's like, I know my niece loves Taylor Swift, but I don't really know her music. So maybe it is, I don't really know. But yeah, pop for old farts. That's a
Yeah,
better
a good
description,
one.
maybe.
I like that.
Old
um,
fart stuff.
yeah. And have you guys got any new influences for this album, music wise? Maybe not so much any current pop artists, but do you have any newer influences?
Not not that I can point out, but where, when I say the word old farts, I know like a lot of my, friends, old buddies, they sort of love the stuff they loved as kids and never really ventured far out of that bracket.
Yeah.
But all four of us, um, we're constantly searching for new shit, and still getting buzzed by, some incredible, music that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're never standing still. But I guess, for me, I guess the stuff that I've been listening to recently that it's not that recent, but I've listened to a little bit of Afro funk,
That's cool.
which I didn't know there was so much savage hardcore funk out there.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of dub as well.
Wow.
But that doesn't really shine out in the music. But then at the same time, I went back and rediscovered a lot of old Motown and following those three songwriters that were there at the beginning when they got the shits with Motown and left and
Mhm.
formed their own label.
Yep.
Some of the more soulful stuff that they came with later. And yeah, obviously everything that we listen to would filter in,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say yes. Not that I could pinpoint it, but every day I'm searching for stuff. And my favorite radio station here is 2SCR, and it's so good. There's so much new music. I'm driving around and I'm fucking deaf, which makes it hard. So I don't hear the back announcement. I'm like, far out, who's this? This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that when you find something really good on the radio and you miss who it is.
I know. Sometimes I go on their website and a few of their DJs leave up playlists.
Ah,
But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, definitely. We're not like there's been no good music since 1987.
yeah.
We're old, but we're not that old yet.
Well, that brings me to my next statement. As a millennial, I just wanted to say that your earlier albums sound a lot like they could have been released today, if that makes any sort of sense. They really resonate with me. And I think the younger generations should really give you guys a listen, or even ask their parents about the Hard-Ons, if they appreciated good music, that is, because it feels like a lot of them might be missing out. At your shows, do you feel like there's a mix of fans? Is there some quite younger ones and then older ones, or is it, what's the mix like?
Look, it's mainly people our age,
Yeah.
and I get it. Like you never really think about a generation gap until you get older, and then you sort of like I had lunch with my niece today, and she goes, "Right, Uncle Blackie,
Hmm.
Taylor Swift or Kanye West?" And I'm like, "Oh, I guess Kanye West." And she's, was rolling her eyes at me, and I know I couldn't have said to her, "Well, you know, Discharge or Crass,"
Yeah, yeah,
Saints or Radio Birdman, wouldn't have made sense to her.
yeah,
And, you know, even my son, a lot of the times we're in a car and he rolls his eyes, if I'm playing Blue Oyster Cult or something like that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's mainly old farts, but yeah, I've noticed a few younger people coming in,
yeah,
and yeah, I mean, sometimes things go in cycle, for people sometimes really dig guitar based music, then they get bored and they want, more dancey sort of shit. Then they go back and want more rock and roll stuff. And
yeah,
but I mean, like far out. Yeah, you can say so many people say, oh, but dance music's so big nowadays. It's like, yeah, but I think every single Iron Maiden show was sold out, in stadiums,
yeah,
not So
Yeah, we're still seeing those bands, no matter what timeline, really coming back and playing, and they're still getting sold out, like you said. Like it's across
yeah,
every generation, I suppose. But yeah,
man,
uh,
there's definitely enough good stuff out there for everyone.
yeah, for sure. No, I totally agree. Is there a difference playing live here in Australia to playing in other countries, do you think?
Not really. It's surprisingly universal.
Yeah,
Just people that, dig that live music buzz, which is almost like, it's just that I see a lot of things in terms of energy. And, you go to play live.
yeah,
Like you'll notice when you go to see a band, sometimes as they're just about to start, there's this mad crackling in the room. It's almost that kinetic, fuck, it's about to start and everyone's getting really
you can
excited.
feel it.
Then
Yeah,
if it's a good night, if everything's working, the PA's on fire, the monitors are good, no one breaks a string. There's that back and forth. You're shooting out some energy into the crowd. They're getting off. They're shooting energy back to you, and it keeps
yeah.
going backwards and forwards. So by the end of the night, it's like fucking hell, that was so good.
So you can definitely feel it up there when you're performing. You can feel the crowd.
100%,
That's awesome.
100 fucking %. There are some shows I'll never forget. I remember one in Perth in particular where I just didn't want to get off stage. And by
Yeah.
the end of it, even people right up the back row, I could just see them in shadows with their hands in the air going crazy. And I just
Uh,
thought, fuck, I'm lucky that, I get to experience this sort of shit.
Hell yeah. And is there anyone in particular that like is a favorite for you guys to play alongside with or before or
Oh, loads.
yeah,
There's so many good bands at the moment.
yeah,
For me to start, Raising Ravens, crazy good. Band Dead from, rural Victoria, just three-piece, two basses and drums that just sound like, they put your head in a freight train and take you along.
yeah.
Uh, Leatherman, which is some of the guys from the Clowns and Cable Ties doing a Thin Lizzy style power pop thing.
Oh,
But
wow.
I could go on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hundreds, literally hundreds.
That's awesome. And I know you guys think pretty highly of Radio Birdman. What do they
Oh,
mean to you?
yeah, that was really special. What I was saying, like when we played with them,
Yeah,
how special that was for us. And this is, no spin doctoring. This is 100% true. When we were kids, one of the first songs we tried to learn was New Race.
for real.
So, to be little grommets in a bedroom, with
Yeah,
badly tuned guitars, going, oh, I think it goes like this, you
yeah.
know, then to be sharing a stage with them
That's nuts.
yeah, exactly. It's nuts.
That's
It's
amazing.
indescribable, whatever the correct
Yeah.
wording is.
I reckon there's still music to come after this album.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
we're still demoing, like we never stop. And, the guys sometimes get a little bit fatigued, but,
Yeah,
I've got loads of new ideas to smash them with. And yeah, we probably already demoed maybe 9 new tracks, and we're just, we store them,
yeah,
listen to them. If they still give us a buzz 3-4 months later, if it still has a certain energy, we'll, pull it out again. And
yeah.
yeah, touch wood.
Yes, there's no sign of you guys slowing down, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a bit of a different one, but how does Ray come up with the art for the Hard-Ons? Like, does he draw something rad and you all go, yep? Or like, does his art usually correlate with aspects of your albums or your tours? Or how does that process work?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask Ray. I
Yeah,
have a feeling, and I do remember him saying once, he likes he hates it when people ask him to do a record cover and then go, right, now this is what I'm after. I want you to draw, this with
yeah,
a that with my head sticking out the back, and he's
yeah,
like, that never feels free to me. So
yeah,
I think he just loves doodling and seeing what happens.
yeah,
And I guess because, he's in a band, he's always thinking about the music, that a lot of times it just seems that the visual that he comes up with does seem to fit
yeah,
the band
yeah.
aesthetically.
He's amazing. I love his art. It just seems to
Yeah,
work for you guys and really captures you guys like I don't think anyone else could. It's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I know I know some of his biggest influences. Well, one of them was a grandfather who was a really good drawer and used to sit with him and draw with him,
Wow.
taught him a lot of basics, but he really likes Karl Barks, who I think used to draw the early Donald Ducks and Uncle Scrooge and stuff. He really loves him.
There you go.
And he loves, I think it's Steve Ditko a
Okay.
lot. One of the early, I think he drew the early Spider-Mans, like a lot of comic book art.
Yeah.
And, he loves Robert Crumb,
Yeah, I was just
MC Escher. Yeah,
yeah.
just, again, like with music, I think his tastes are really quite broad. He likes a lot of things, but he does obviously tend to like a lot of comic art.
Yeah. Too
So,
talented.
mm.
Amazing. And you guys have seen quite a big success over in countries like Europe, I believe, and even Asia. How does that
Oh,
feel?
we do well in Japan, and
Yeah.
Europe has always been pretty kind to us.
Yeah. When you play at home, like in Australia, do you guys still get a really good reception?
I think so. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Good.
so. Again, it's like, you go up and down. There's obviously been many, many lean years. Then, like again, when you've been around for this long, eventually people are going to be, oh, fucking hell, I've seen the Hard-Ons 20 times in the last 6 months. I need a break. And,
Yeah.
I hear, you know. Um, but yeah, definitely. I think and we still, like, playing live is pretty special.
Yeah.
Like, dragging your amps out, setting up, and, just the sheer physicalness of volume
Yeah.
is, it's not good for my hearing,
No.
unfortunately, but it does feel fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know it's maybe not all that healthy for you, for your hearing. And I've read somewhere recently, hearing loss is a real, like a good step up to dementia.
Oh,
It's like,
great.
it's like, oh, fucking hell, I'm
Yeah.
fucked.
So much to look
But
forward to there.
yeah, but
Oh,
just performing live. I think people can still see that we, dig it just as much as ever. And yeah, I would say yes.
yeah. And how's touring for you guys still? Like, is it still like you're just with your mates and it's pretty relaxed and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it can get, you call it cabin fever when you've been in a van for so long, there's always going to be, a little bit rubbing each other the wrong way. But at the same time, in particular, me and Ray, you know, we've known each other since 1975. So we can always read each other's moods. And if someone's, in a bit of a mood, it's like, give him a little bit of breathing space, give him the single room tonight, let
Yeah.
him, chill out and things like that. But yeah, we, like every band, have a few moments, but they're really far and few between for us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good. And is there a favorite song that you guys have? I don't know if you're allowed to tell us or not, but a favorite song that you have from the new album?
Yeah, I really like the last track called Pushover.
Mm-hmm.
I was really happy with that. And that was a real late addition to the record. And that was Murray hassling me saying, there's no shoegaze on the record. So I went, all right, mate, you want some shoegaze? So I came in with that song. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's technically shoegaze, but it was an idea I had for quite a while that I rediscovered, when he said blah, blah, blah. But I'm really pleased with it. And the very first song that the album opens with, I Like You a Lot,
Mm-hmm.
just lyrically, it's about a little buddy of mine who, I adore. And I don't know, the melody is kind of understated and it feels like I was trying to aim for a soul pop track, and sounds big headed, but I think I got it.
Yeah.
And
No, I think you
it's
have.
it
Um,
feels really good to me. Even when we've been jamming it lately, to get ready to play live, it
yeah.
fucking feels really nice.
Yeah.
But there's a lot on there's a lot on this new record. I'm, always with your new record, and you should feel this way every time.
Yeah.
Always really, really happy with what we've done.
Yeah. No, that's so good.
So,
That's how you know you when you feel really together and like you can yeah, good job. Trying to say there, but yes, exactly what you said. Like it's nice when you walk away from it happy and like, yeah, we really put out what we wanted to and yeah, sounds
yeah, utterly. And we always push ourselves because I think that's one of the things that helps us stay fresh
yeah,
and not get stale. We never, you know, I guess some bands can be a bit more successful by sticking to some sort of, you know, I'm not going to say formula because that's a bit mean, but you know, like, you know, they've got a like little niche, but we're more little, you know, should we try this? Should we try
Yeah,
that?
that's it.
Yeah, and you know, on this record, I think there's, you know, one of the tracks has one of the best guitar solos I've ever fluked on live, because doing a guitar solo in a studio, it's hard because, you know, it's not as vibed as being in front of a crowd. You
Yeah,
know, although the guys were staring at me like, come on,
do it.
do something. But yeah, no, just fully happy.
Oh, good. That's awesome. And where can we get all the info about the upcoming tour in October? It starts in October, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I think October the 19th, I think, when we
Yeah.
get back from Europe.
Yep.
We got the doco showing first on the 16th, I think. Man, I'm so hopeless. You know, I had to borrow my sister's suitcase to go to start packing. But yes, I don't really look at stuff until, you know, I'm going.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
all
I'm
good.
pretty sure it's October the 19th. But you know, it'll be up on all the social media sites and
Yeah.
Cheer Squad Records. I think their webpage has all the touring dates of their bands and stuff like that. So we want everyone to know, obviously. So
Yes,
we'll be
yes.
plastering you guys with it.
No, it's good. It's awesome. We can't wait for it. So exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Well, thank you so much, Blackie, for having a chat with us today. We're eager for the album and the tour. And yeah, thanks again.
No, thank you. That was really cool. Pleasure.